I think I was depressed long before I was famous. I think I was anxious long before I ever even moved to LA.
Well, Dove, so good to see you virtually. How,
You.
how are you doing right now with everything kind of going on? How are you feeling about everything? How's life right now?
I always feel like when I see you, I'm like, oh, let's talk about it. I always feel like my interviews with you are the most like emotive. Um, Good. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty. It's a weird time for everybody. I feel like it's pretty up and down for everybody. Today I feel fine. I feel like it's a day-to-day experience. Like I think 2 days ago I had like a massive breakdown and I was like, humans aren't meant to be cooped up. I mean, I feel like this is like an ultimate experience of like, you can't really distract yourself from yourself. So I think that affects everybody differently.
Yeah, a lot of ups and a lot of downs, but I think it's making all of us feel more present and kind of like in touch with ourselves and in touch with loved ones, because you're forced to communicate from like a distance and FaceTime and Zoom, and it's a weird time for sure. Where are you right now and who are you with?
I'm in my house.
Yeah.
My boyfriend is here. We're quarantining. We live together, so we're quarantining together, and our 2 cats.
So please remember me just like
The song is called Remember Me. So I just want to know, what do you want people to remember and to know about you most?
I mean, I guess I would love it. I would love to communicate to people more of a sense, less of like an image of me and more of a sense of connection between me and them. I think I just would love to encourage people. I don't need anybody to see me in any certain way. I just would love to encourage people to delve into like the messier sides of themselves and connect with themselves so that they can connect with everyone around them and have a better like human experience and human life.
I feel like you're very big on that and like sharing the messy sides of you and like the complexities of human life. And you posted this thing on Instagram, and I think it was like you crying and talking about how you're having FaceTime sessions and trauma therapy and you're trying to write more. What was kind of going through your head when you wrote that, and why was it important for you? Why is it important for you to share?
I don't know if you feel this as a person, but do you ever feel like do you ever feel a visceral feeling of balance
Yes.
in daily life, or in like, and you observe something, or like even when you watch a movie and you're like, something's off about this, it doesn't feel balanced, like there's just like a kind of a feeling when things are like as they should be.
I think all humans feel that, by the way.
Yeah, I know, it's just hard to like put into words.
Yeah.
And I don't really know how I'm gonna say this without sounding so stupid, but like sometimes I go on like my social media feed and I go through it and I'm like, ooh, it makes me feel like sick. Like it makes me feel like we're leaning so hard into like a sort of like a heightened version of our lives. Like I don't know how to describe it because there's nothing wrong with it. Listen, I'm like the first person to post BTS from a photo shoot or from something I'm doing that may seem like really
but it's like a highlight reel, right? It's kind of like, it's like the highest version of myself that I feel comfortable showing you, but it's not technically.
Yeah, and I think we also have this like cultural disease where we're always encouraged to show the most positive aspects of our mood, of ourselves, of our life, and like frame it in that way. And I noticed that growing up, it's always like, how are you? And you're like, good. Like, can I honestly say that I'm good? And if I can, I will say it. And if not, I'll say I'm fine. It's like, it's always we put this kind of like glaze over everything because we're like so afraid of the darker side of life. And so we just like avoid it at all costs. And if I look at that for too long, or if I like spend too long doing that myself, because I do it too, I'm not like shaming anyone, I do it too. I start to feel really like, almost like I've eaten too much of one thing. I'm like, I'm so sick of this, I can't do this anymore. And then I need to like balance it by being like, this is the God's honest truth. This is what's happening right now. Sometimes I cry so much I make myself sick. Like I'm so up and down. This is the honest, full scope of like my life experience right now. And I know that that's not singular to me. I know that that's like a really common thing. I think if we really were more attuned to what's going on inside us and we felt more comfortable expressing it, so many people would be better off. And if I can, with my like weirdly big platform that I don't like feel attached to or related to. I'm always like, I don't understand why it's there, but if it's there, I'm going to attempt to use it for stuff like this, because like if I was younger and I saw somebody being like, I'm not okay, I'd be like, oh, so maybe I cannot be okay, and then I wouldn't have had like years of being like, I'm fine, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head, and it is so important to talk about, right? Whether it be depression or anxiety, and I think a lot of younger celebrities have been talking about that more, and it's kind of taking the stigma away. I mean, Billie Eilish talked about being suicidal. Selena Gomez just said that she's been bipolar. Do you think that there's something within Hollywood that contributes to those issues, or do you think it's like a really worldwide, doesn't matter if you're in Hollywood, doesn't matter if you're just a kid going to school? Do you have anything to say about just like those correlations?
Yeah, I think both of them are valid. I think I was depressed long before I was famous. I think I was anxious long before I ever even moved to LA. I think that they obviously exist everywhere. I do also, though, think that our culture is perpetuating it, in the sense that our culture and our society as it is now, as we just like have accepted it, I think that our society is set up almost to make us feel it's not what we're meant to be dealing with day to day. And that's why so many people are like, oh, I feel so much better in nature. Oh, I feel great taking a week off. I feel great. Like, oh, when I drink water, I feel so much better. It's like when we do the things that are meant for a human body and a human mind and, you know, spirit and experience, obviously those things are much more in line with our bodies than what we're doing now. And so I think that that's cultural. I think that that's widespread. I think that nobody can escape that. And yeah, I do think that celebrity culture is incredibly toxic, in the sense that I think celebrities feel pressure to be perfect, and then everybody watching celebrities feels pressure to be like them. And then because people praise you for that, you're always just like, okay, how could I be better? How could I be more perfect? How could I be, you know, more, how can I reach more people? And then you slow down and you're like, why do I want that? I don't know if I want that. Like, I feel like, what do I need right now? What is best for me? How do I redesign my opinion of what is beautiful to me and escape sort of everybody else's idea of what it is? Because we grow up in that, right? So like you reach like the age of 16 and you already feel like you want to fast forward to when you're 25 and you've got it all together, and like you miss everything, because it's nobody's fault, right? It's just like how it is right now. And so all that we can really do is talk about ways to free people from like social expectations and overblown ideas of what happiness and beauty and success is, and also allow ourselves those things to be human, because I never want to be in a position where I'm not allowed to explore that as well. I don't want to pretend like I have it all together, because I definitely don't. But I do find it important to talk about if you have a platform.
Yeah. What is your relationship like with social media right now? Because I think we have a lot of time on our hands. It's a lot easier to read comments. It's a lot easier to scroll your feeds. How do you feel about it right now? I know you did take a break for a couple of days.
Yeah, I took a break for like 3 weeks when I was doing my last movie, which is a very short amount of time, but it feels like a long amount of time when everybody else is on social media. I don't know, it's such a massive entity. I think it would be hard to be like this, it's one thing, but I think that it's good to take a break, because it isn't real life. I don't think that it's evil. I think that it really helps us, especially right now. It's like, wow, what a unique experience to be able to communicate with people while we're on a global lockdown. We couldn't do that without social media and without technology. Really magic, like true modern day magic. And at the same time, nothing is just one thing. Like it can be great and also poisonous to a certain extent. It can be a negative thing, and then also something you really dabble in and enjoy in a couple of days, right? Like I feel like people are always like, you said this, but then you said that, but it's really, it's your own experience of it that you need to learn how to tap into and moderate, because nobody can tell you what your limits are. But it's not a never ending well of love and enjoyment. I think it can be quite insidious. And so So yeah, I think it has its place, and I think right now we're really grateful for it, and you just need to learn what your limits are.
Well, we are getting wrapped, so I just want to ask a couple of things. A, how is quarantining going with Thomas? We know that he recently accepted a role in the new Gossip Girl reboot. How excited are you for him? How excited is he? And do you feel like this is kind of bringing you guys almost closer in a way?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, so excited, so proud. I'm a massive fan of the original series, so it's like so bizarre, right? That like you grow up watching it and you're like, oh my God, Chuck Bass is so dreamy. And then your boyfriend's like gonna go out, you know, very silly, very weird life. So proud of him. It's gonna be so exciting. Yeah, I can't wait to be, you know, visiting New York or like spending time there. It's our favorite city. Yeah, we're amazing. I mean, like we're really compatible, so it's great to be together. Of course, like everybody needs their space, and we just moved into this like we just moved into a studio loft, and so it's like one long room, and we were like, it's fine. Like we're never really in our apartment anyway. Now, of course, we're no, we've got like our systems. I make breakfast and lunch. She makes dinner, yeah, we spend a lot of time together. We spend some time alone. We're great. I mean, we're just like, we're so like, when it's right, you know?
Yeah.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I have to go.
Your TikToks are amazing, and I already saw that there's like a Remember Me Dance challenge. So what inspires your TikToks? We saw the Kardashian ones. They were hilarious.
Yeah, I just love things that make me laugh. I feel like I love to laugh. I mean, everybody loves to laugh, but like I'm such a comedy person, and people don't really like know that. I don't like talk about that, but I'm a comedy geek. I love to do comedy. Anything. I just laugh all the time. He makes me laugh all the time. We just do like skits all day long. We're so stupid. Same thing with my best friend. Like all we do is do like stupid stuff that make each other laugh. So yeah, anything that makes me laugh. I have a hard time imagining I'm gonna really get into the dances. I'm gonna try to do the Remember Me dance because it's like so cute that people already have
to dance. Yeah, you have to do it.
Okay, I'll try. You and my label are both like, you have to do it. Yeah, I'll work on it. I'll leave it to the real dancers. But it's really sweet to already have that because it's like such a cultural phenomenon in and of itself. It's so cool.
Do you have a message of hope right now to everyone, kind of going through this difficult time?
Yeah, I think that this is such a singular time, and I think that this is a very trying time. And whether there's sort of like two things that are going on right now. There's the pandemic, which requires immediate attention, constant compassion, stay in your house, like practice empathy. I know it's difficult. I know you're going to feel stir crazy, but you have to be, if you have any like discipline left, you have to use all of it and use all of your empathy that I know we all have and just like combine it and stay in your house. Don't leave for anything unless it's absolutely essential. But all we can do right now, as with all things that are happening, that, this pandemic is somewhat like a natural disaster. It's happening, right? And all we can do is respond and do what we can, and do everything that we can. And I know that I'm doing that, and I really hope that you're doing that. And after that, all you can do is take care of yourself. And it's so important to stay in touch with yourself, journal, talk openly about mental health. And if you don't know how to do that yet, right now is a great time to learn. Find someone who you trust, who you can communicate with, hopefully in your house. And if not, that's why we have our phones. Stay strong. Definitely hold on to hope, because there's only so much we can do. And we are all experiencing this together, which is kind of like a small bit of magic that we can hang on to.